Hi, my name is Andrew. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. This is my weekly video, which I promised to myself I would make. So, got to keep a promise. So what has happened since I last spoke to you? Well, obviously we've had, I say obviously, I'm sure you probably know, it has been Christmas in the United Kingdom and obviously most of the Western world, all of the Western world. Not particularly big on Christmas, personally. It doesn't really have any religious significance anymore in this country. It's not really a Christian festival anymore. If ever it actually was. But yeah, not particularly big on it. Saw some family, which is always nice, but you can do that at any time of the year, of course. So yeah, but something more profound has happened, I guess. So I mentioned in last week's video that I was becoming seriously interested in Islam after having an interest in it for some years now. I am becoming strongly drawn to embracing Islam, and something I'm also considering doing is studying Islam on a formal basis, possibly in a Muslim majority country. Now, this all sounds a bit extreme for someone who is not yet a Muslim, and I fully agree, it does. But I feel strongly drawn to this course of action. I feel like I'm being guided, if you like, into formally studying Islam after becoming a Muslim, and using whatever talents and skills I have to educate people about Islam and the Quran, particularly people who might not have been exposed to it, or people who don't understand it or misunderstand it, have been fed propaganda about Islam and or the Quran. I also had occasion to talk about this to my wife. My wife is not religious. She's not anti-religious, but she's not religious. And she said to me, I can't actually remember how the conversation came up. It kind of almost came out of the blue. But she kind of said, look, if you want to do something, you should do it. If you feel strongly that you should do something, you should go and do it, and I won't stand in your way. Which is kind of a gift from God, if you like, a gift from Allah. It's another confirmation that perhaps I am on the right path. My wife works she works for a hospice, which, if you don't know what a hospice is, a hospice cares for people with terminal illness. It cares for them in their last days, last weeks. And a good part of her job is dealing with people that have terminal illnesses and helping care for them in their homes in their last days and weeks, and also helping to prepare families for the oncoming death of a loved one. She's seen some relatively young people die recently, and her message to me was, you don't know when your time is up, in this life. So if you feel strongly you should do something, you should go and do it. Which was a very humbling and liberating thing to hear. So I'm now, I've now got many thoughts going around my head from, well, how do I become a Muslim? Well, I know how I become a Muslim because I've already spoken to my local imam, who was happy for me to take the Shahada at his masjid as soon as I felt I was ready. I haven't spoken to him for a couple of years, but I'm sure if I dropped him a message, I could rekindle that course of action. In terms of my studies, I've made some inquiries. I'm attempting to learn Arabic because there are quite a few Islamic study courses that require a certain proficiency in Arabic. That's not going to be easy, but it's exciting. It's scary. Why don't I study Islam or Islamic studies in the UK? There are courses. But I do feel that the UK is becoming more and more hostile towards Muslims and Islam. The climate is moving that way slowly, which is sad. So this is why I had the idea of studying in a Muslim majority country. Also because, I could immerse myself more easily in Muslim culture. I did think originally of doing an online course on a part-time basis. I just don't think I would keep it up. And I've done a little bit of research, and the considered opinion was most people that start online degrees, they don't finish the degrees. I think if you're taking a vocational degree alongside work in a particular field, I think you've got far more chance of finishing it then, because your studies complement your working life. But that wouldn't be the case for me. I would want to immerse myself fully, be resident on campus, so I have people of like mind around me. As I say, could do that in the UK, but I'm starting to feel that it would be better off in an Islamic country where I've looked at Pakistan, I've looked at Malaysia, I've looked at Qatar, which I have visited once before and really liked. Pakistan and Malaysia appeal because the tuition fees are quite low, and the living costs are fairly low as well. I know next to nothing about living in those countries. I know next to nothing about living in any country apart from the United Kingdom or perhaps Europe. So exciting times, but all I can do is ask Allah to guide me into what I should do, help me accept His will, and if anybody has any ideas or any knowledge that they can share with me, I'd be very happy to get it. Or if you just want to give me some encouragement, or if you want to say this is not a good course of action, but I'm happy to listen to any opinion, not necessarily agree with, but happy to listen to any sincerely put forward opinion. So, I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching. Only a short one today, but not a huge amount to say, but a huge amount to think about. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one. Bye.